Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. And we're here today to talk a little bit about virtual reality. Of course, over the last couple days we had E3, and previous to E3, Oculus had their press conference where they showed off a lot of new things from Oculus, including Oculus Touch controllers. They announced the fact that every Oculus Rift retail kit will be bundled with an Xbox One controller as a partnership, and also the fact that we'll be able to get our hands on the Oculus Rift retail in early first quarter 2016. And of course, that got my brain juices flowing. And it got me thinking about how badly I want to play Star Citizen inside of VR, inside of retail VR. As much as I've been really tempted to pick up a dev kit, especially the recent Crystal one from Oculus, there's just kind of me saying, no, don't do it yet. As much as people are saying it's enjoyable and it's really good, don't mess about with it. Wait till it's retail, and not only that, wait till you have a graphics card that can support it. Everything's kind of been falling into place for VR over the last couple years, and I think that this year and moving into 2016 is kind of like the puzzle pieces are coming together. Because not only do you have the retail release of the Oculus Rift, you have all these other VR headsets, you know, all making great competition, which is always good for the consumer. It's going to give us choice. We're not just restricted to purchasing one headset for one price and for one set of statistics. You know, we can purchase a variety of different headsets based on which one we think is best and which one possibly ends up being best. At the same time, GPUs are getting cheaper and more affordable than ever. And not only do you have the recent released 980 Ti from GeForce and NVIDIA, but you also have AMD coming out with their dual Fiji cards, their line of Fury X cards, which also looks to be insanely affordable. I can't wait to see the benchmarks on those things because I'm at that point where it's like, you know, I'm going to purchase the 980 Ti, but, you know, if AMD can bring their shit together and bring us something cool again with these Fury cards, I'll be all over that. Either way, you're going to be at no loss for choices when it comes to gearing up your PC at an affordable cost for virtual reality and for 4K gaming. And when I think of games that I really want to play in VR, that I really want to play at stupid high resolutions, Star Citizen instantly comes to mind. I mean, how can it not? It's so drool-worthy. Luckily, the Oculus doesn't cover your face because that would be disgusting. I'd have to have like a drool cup inside of the face thing, you know? I mean, well, let's just not talk about that because it doesn't work that way. It just goes over your eyes, which is a very, very good thing. But it definitely got me thinking that, you know, I'm going to be really excited if Star Citizen is much further along at the arrival of the Oculus Rifts, because when I go to purchase one, this is like the first game I want to sit down and plug into and like really spend some time with, you know, go out, fly a spaceship, look around the interior, walk around something like the Constellation or a Bengal carrier perhaps by then, and then of course engage in first-person combat. Like, there's just so much variety that is planned to be available in Star Citizen. I think it's the perfect playground for something like the Rift. Of course, setting aside Oculus Rift built experiences like eValkyrie and the most recently announced, Riggs, that's for Project Morpheus, but you know, these types of experiences that are built from the ground up specifically for VR. And that's where things start to kind of get on another level, and I understand that Star Citizen probably won't be able to bring us all of the awesome features that are going to be available, you know, with things like the Oculus Touch. It's just, that's kind of residing, that's put aside for 100% virtual reality experiences, once again, like eValkyrie. But I do think that just the headset and that basic sense of immersion mixed with something like an Xbox One controller for Star Citizen is going to add just an insane amount of awesomeness to Star Citizen. I really don't know how else to say it. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be inside of a VR headset yet. I haven't really had that pleasure, but people speak so well about the Oculus Rift. You know, you hear less and less people coming away with motion sickness. Not that that's something I'm often concerned about. I don't think I've ever been motion sick. But, you know, the resolution issues that they were talking about, these are things that are improving like on a daily basis with Oculus. And, you know, they plan to launch something in 2016 that doesn't have all of the mesh issues with the screen. It doesn't have the resolution issues. And they also, you know, many of these devs, including, I believe, Valve was the first one to say that their goal is to make a headset where no one ever gets sick in it. So there's a huge, like, strive. There's a huge group of these developers making these headsets that really want them to succeed. They want them to be like the next generation of gaming. And I am totally on board for that. And I'm totally ready to plug into Star Citizen with that, as well as a number of other awesome games that we will hopefully be seeing. Not just those not just the gimmicky experiences to highlight what virtual reality can do, but full-on worlds, the next Skyrim, the next Fallout, whatever. Just I want to be taken to places. I want to be able to go to these locations and worlds and just see them in a completely different light inside of virtual reality. So really all I have to ask you guys is, do you see Star Citizen as being something that you really want to experience in virtual reality? Is it something that you really want to plug into a Rift and dive into come 2016? And of course, let me know your thoughts on virtual reality as a whole. Do you plan on picking up a Rift in 2016? Are you kind of getting your PC ready? Like I said, things are more affordable than ever. They're not cheap. I don't want to say cheap, but they're affordable. You can get yourself into a 980 Ti and probably some of those Fury X cards for, within the $500-600 range. And then maybe we'll be talking, $300-400 for something like the Rift, maybe even cheaper considering the price of the dev kits. So it's definitely becoming something that is going to be much more affordable. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. Are you interested in it? Is it something that you really don't believe in just yet? And are you kind of waiting for that opportunity to be able to go to your local game store and, perhaps test one of these things for yourself and see if it's really all it's talked up to be? I mean, for me, I'm kind of sold, Like, I want to be a part of this, even if it kind of, somehow flops, which I don't think it will. I really think we've got to the point where we're going to nail it. I want to be a part of it. I want to take that risk, and I want to be one of the first people to really, experience it as a normal everyday way to play video games. I'm really excited for that. So let me know all your thoughts. And I guess if there was a game or a video game type experience that you most want to experience inside of virtual reality, it could be Star Citizen, it could be anything. It could be something that doesn't exist yet, but you have it in your mind. Let me know down in the comment section below. Of course, leave me any questions you have regarding my thoughts on virtual reality, Star Citizen, the Oculus Rift, or any of those other headsets that are currently in development. And I'll see you in the next one.